Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K Facebook Live video, and I'm just taking a second to make sure that I am live out here on my Facebook page where I want to be, and looks like I am, so hopefully give me a second to get the comment thing pulled up, so hopefully I can see when you all join and see when you leave comments here. Anyway, so we are going to be making a little card today with the So Many Stars stamp set bundle. Hey Patricia, thanks for jumping in this morning. So if you want to say hello when you hop in, that's awesome. I'll try to pay attention and keep an eye on it as people are coming in and joining. So we are going to be using the So Many Stars stamp set bundle from the upcoming holiday catalog, which I did a little card today on my blog with it, but this one's a little more of a traditional Christmas card, as you can hopefully see on here. So this is what we're going to be working with and playing with today. All right, so this is the So Many Stars stamp set, which I love. It's very pretty. It's a photopolymer stamp set, so it's great for easy stamping. It's got a lot of good sentiments in it, and as well as lots of star images, which are really nice. Hey, Catherine, and hi, Robbie. Thanks for joining. So there are some coordinating dies that go with this stamp set, and the dies are called the Stitched Stars dies, which obviously, hopefully you can see the dies, the larger star dies are actually stitched, which is nice. And then there are a lot of pretty little intricate stars and little extra pieces that you can use, some little swirls. This is one of the die cuts we're actually going to be using today, and it's probably my favorite one from this die set, so it's really pretty. So anyway, so hopefully you'll like it as well as I do. But again, this is the So Many Stars stamp set bundle, and it'll be available for customers beginning on September 4th. So let me set that aside and hopefully not lose track of everything here as I'm piling up my papers. So a couple things before we get going. I did want to remind you, if you are interested in joining or have ever considered joining as a demonstrator, Stampin' Up! Has got their extra joining promotion going on now through the end of August. I almost said October, goodness. So it's the end of August. So on Saturday, this will be over with. It's a really great deal Stampin' Up! Has going on right now, where you only pay $99 plus tax for your starter kit. And you get to pick $155 worth of Stampin' Up! Merchandise of your choice, which is actually $30 more than you normally get to choose. So that is a great deal in itself. And again, there's no obligation. If you don't purchase anything beyond the starter kit, that's awesome, and nobody will be upset about it. So my theory on it is always just give it a try, give it a whirl, test it out, see how you like being a demonstrator. And if you don't like it or you don't want to, continue on, that's just fine. Then you go back to being a customer. So no problem, nothing lost. Anyway, so in addition to that, the extra part of it is that Stampin' Up! Will be sending you a coupon code during the first week of September. If you join before the end of August, they will be sending you a coupon code for $10 off any order that you place as a demonstrator for between the time you get the coupon code and the end of October. So that's a nice little extra bonus to give you a little bit, a little bit of extra cash. And on top of that, you'll be getting your demonstrator discount on the order, which is a really good deal. So anyway, if you have questions about this or are considering joining, definitely let me know. I'd be happy to have you join our team. So let me know if you have questions. It's, like I said, it's a really good deal. So, and yes, Catherine, it is an amazing deal, and I think everybody should do it, but that's just my personal opinion. Second thing up, trimmer blades. For the trimmer that retired, Stampin' Up! Actually has their final batch of trimmer blades that are going to be coming in and will be available for purchase starting today, which is August 27th, at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, which is a little less than an hour from now. So take time to watch the video with me, and then make sure that you hop on and go get your trimmer blades if you need them. One nice thing, Stampin' Up! Has actually told us that we should see the new trimmer by the end of the year. Demonstrators should. I don't know when it will be available for customers, but demonstrators should be able to order it by the end of the year. And I did get to see a prototype of it, and it's really awesome. It's a nice trimmer, real smooth. So like I said, hopefully the new trimmer will be here soon. So if you can grab trimmer blades, they are limiting it to 3 packs of blades per order. So make sure that you get on and get them ordered right away. Last time they sold out in about, I think it was 11 minutes. So if you want them, you need to make sure you get online very soon and get them. So, and last thing I wanted to talk about, I swear we are going to get to card making here in a second. There are just so many things going on. So hey, Jackie, thanks for joining. Stampin' Up! Has just announced that they are doing the Designer Series paper sale again. They typically have done this one, I think, in July, but for whatever reason, they switched it to September this year, which I'm happy to see. It's the buy 3, get 1 free Designer Series paper sale. And it starts on September 4th and runs through the 30th of September. So that's nice because you'll be able to put in your holiday catalog orders and get some designer series paper as well. So it is a specific list of designer series papers that are included in it, and the list is here. And you can mix and match and choose any 3. If you want all the same, you can get 4 packs that are all the same. You can get 4 different packs. You can get 2 and 2, whatever you want to do for mixing and matching. And Stampin' Up! Has let us know that you can purchase the 3 of the $11.50 packs and get the specialty pack for $14.50 for free. So that is a nice little bonus. So you don't have to purchase the higher priced one in order to get one for free. You can do 3 of them that are on the list for $11.50 and then get the one for $14.50 for free, which is the Pressed Petals Specialty Designer Series paper, which is a really pretty pack. Which takes me back to my card because that's actually what I used on the background of this card. So nice little bonus, and you get to see a little bit of the paper today. So, all right, as promised, we're actually going and we are going to go ahead and get working on stamping. So again, this is the card, and the background that I used on it is from the Pressed Petals Specialty Designer Series paper. And I will have all the measurements and everything out on my blog tomorrow, so no need to worry about writing all that information down. But this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and again, it's from the Pressed Petals Specialty Designer Series paper. And we're going to do a little bit of heat embossing. So in addition to hearing the neighbor's racket next door, they're digging something up in their backyard, and they have heavy equipment over there. So I don't know if you can hear all the banging and the beeping, but I apologize if you can. So hey, Lori, thanks for joining. I think you just missed the announcement. I don't know if you saw it on my blog today, but Stampin' Up! Is doing their buy 3, get 1 free Designer Series paper sale starting September 4th. So I know you had been asking me about that, so I figured I would let you know that it's definitely happening this year, just a little bit later than normal. So, and all the details are on my blog post this morning, so take a look at it if you haven't. All right, a little bit of stamping with Versamark, which I know you can't see a thing on here, and we're going to use some copper embossing powder. Do a little bit of embossing. So again, I'm sure you can't see it very well because it's a little darker, but I'm going to turn this on. It's going to make a bunch of racket. One thing I did want to remind you about while I am on the subject of Designer Series paper is I do have a Holiday Catalog Designer Series paper share that I am doing. So that's with all the new Holiday Catalog Designer Series paper, which are not included in the buy 3, get 1 free sale. So the information is all out as well on my blog today. So, all right, so we've got the sentiment heat embossed on there. And it's a little more subtle, so hopefully you can see it okay on the screen. And then we are going to glue that to a soft suede card base with a little bit of the multi-purpose liquid glue. Just running a little bit around the edges and a little bit in the middle. And I will try not to stick my fingers in it, which I usually end up doing. All right, and I use the liquid glue, which if you've watched my videos before, you've probably heard me say this before, so that it gives me a little bit of time to sort of wiggle things around and make sure that everything is lined up the way I want it before it is stuck down for good. So that gives me just a minute to sort of press everything down and make sure that it looks good before it stays forever. So, okay, so we've got that adhered. I did a little bit of pre-cutting as I usually do just to save some time so you didn't have to sit and watch me cut 59 pine boughs. But this is the Beautiful Boughs die set, which is also available in the holiday catalog starting on September 4th. And it's got some really pretty die cuts. There's a coordinating stamp set that goes with it, so it's bundled. And you can pick this die set up again starting on September 4th, so lots of pretty dies in it. And I also like that it's got some for the sentiments as well, some of the dies. So that is a nice little bundle, a nice stamp set, and nice die set. And again, I don't know how well you can see it on here, but I did sponge the edges of the pine boughs with a little bit of Old Olive ink, and this is Old Olive cardstock that I've used to cut the pine bough images, I guess that's what I call them. So I use that to cut the pine boughs. And I didn't have any like real specific way that I put these on the card front. I just sort of placed them so that it covered a large area, and I can see that I've already got some goobers of glue, which is okay. We can rub them off later. Whoop. One of the advantages of liquid glue is that you can move things around. Obviously, the disadvantage is that sometimes if you get a little heavy-handed with it, you can end up with glue gooped out and stuck to your fingers, like I usually always do when I use liquid glue. So, but that's okay. We're professionals at gluing, right? Anyhow, so just adding in a couple little layered pine boughs here. Oop. Of course, that one stuck to my finger more than it did the card. And then just gluing on the final one here. A little bit of layering of the pine boughs. Good morning, Rosie. How are you? And hey, Lisa, sorry I missed your comment totally. I was busy talking Designer Series paper, so glad that you hopped in and glad that you liked my card. All right, so I'm going to set that aside for 1 second and try to clean some of the glue off my fingers. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp the star image. And again, we're going to heat emboss this. So I'm going to use Versamark ink and the star image from the So Many Stars stamp set. And we're just going to ink it up real well in Versamark ink. And I'm going to stamp it. This is real red cardstock. I'm just going to stamp the image down, lift it off, put my Versamark over here so I don't end up with it covered in something icky. And then we're going to use the copper Stampin' Emboss powder again to emboss the star image. All right, so let me get my heat tool here. There it goes. And Robbie, you like liquid glue? I much prefer snail, dimensionals, glue dots. So if I can get away with using it, I usually do. Like I said, liquid glue I like because I can wiggle it around, but I usually make a mess and end up with it stuck all over my fingers. So I don't know. I guess I was always that kid in school that had glue stuck to everything. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and give this just a second to cool off here. And then I'm going to take one of the dies, the Stitch Star dies. And it happens to be this one that fits right around the stamped star image here. And I'm going to go ahead and run this through my die cutting machine off screen here, so hopefully it won't wiggle too much. And hopefully you can still hear me over here. I have kind of a big mouth, so I can talk a lot. So, oh, Robbie needs the extra wiggle room. Yeah, see, like I said, I don't know. I like that part of it, but I don't know. I just make a mess every time I use it. So, all right. So we've got our star cut out here. And then the liquid glue thing, I actually tried to glue down this die cut, which is from copper foil sheets. Mary turned you on to liquid gluing. It does stick. Yeah, it sticks to everything. It is a really good adhesive, but yeah, you have to be careful with it because, and I'm clearly not. But this is that die cut that I told you was my favorite from the Stitched Stars dies. And I actually had originally on the first card glued it down or tried to glue it down with multi-purpose liquid glue, but I found it didn't really stick very well for whatever reason. I think because it's like bumpy and lumpy underneath it. So what I actually found was that it worked easier just to put Stampin' Dimensionals all over the back of the star and then actually use the star to stick the die cut, the smaller die cut to the card base. So that worked for me last time, so I'm hoping that I'll get everything in the right place and Mary would be proud. Even though they're half dimensionals, there are 50 billion of them that I have stuck on the back of this little star because I want to make sure that everything is stuck down well to the card front and that nothing comes loose and we don't end up with the one die cut flying around and not being where I want it to be. So we are going to take this and hopefully lay it right down here over the top of the other die cuts, and then I'm going to press down well, and yep, that secured the die cut underneath it. So that's exactly what I wanted it to do. So hopefully you can see that, and that this actually is lifting up a little bit, but I kind of like the look of that rather than glued down flat. So all right, the last piece that I had for the card front is actually some of the, and I'm trying to be careful so I say it correctly because I was corrected that I was saying it incorrectly on a previous video. It is Toile Tidings Glitter Enamel Dots, and I'm having a hard time. I don't know why my mouth just does not want to say toile. Anyway, so I'm using a couple, we'll just call them the really pretty glitter enamel dots from the holiday catalog. How's that sound? So I'm using a couple of the little glitter enamel dots and just adhering them around the card front. And that is it for the card front. So you're saying Mary is concerned her stock will go down in the dimensional business with me using half. I know it will be a bad thing for Mary. So we'll see if her dimensionals, if they can survive the hit of me just only cutting them in half and using half a dimensional. So yes, it is. See, toile, for whatever reason, my mouth just doesn't say that very well. I don't know why. I can't get the sound of it right. So, okay. So the inside of the card, I kept pretty basic. I just stamped the So Many Stars sentiment in there in soft suede ink, and then added a couple of stars around it in real red ink. And then I'm going to add a little strip of the Designer Series paper that coordinates with the Designer Series paper on the front from the Pressed Petals pack. Just going to add a little bit of snail to the bottom of the Whisper White card base, or Whisper White panel here. And I cut it a little bit big, just so again I've got a little bit of wiggly room on it, so that I can hopefully get it lined up. I'm glad you guys are liking this. This is actually, it was a fun card to put together. I started out with a whole different vision about what the card was going to be, and it ended up being completely different than what I thought it was going to. But I actually really liked it. I liked it way better than what I had in my head for the vision of the card when I put it together. So I was happy with the way it turned out. So glad that you guys are liking it too. All right, so that is the inside of the card. And I'm going to grab the bone folder and give it a little quick crease here. And we are all done with the card project for today. So hopefully that you like it. And again, hopefully you will get this bundle. I love the dies in it. The stitched stars dies are fantastic. And the stamp set is too. It's got a lot of good sentiments and things in it. So thanks so much for joining me today. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. I will be posting, again, I'll be posting all the details about this on my blog tomorrow. And don't forget trimmer blades. If you need them, get online at noon Mountain Time today, which is just a few minutes from now. Get online and get your trimmer blades ordered. Otherwise, we have the new trimmer that's coming, but it won't be till probably either late in the year or beginning of next year before we can get our hands on it. So get as many trimmer blades as you need. Limit of 3 packs per order, but you can order multiple orders. So I'll just give you that as a little tip. All right. Thanks so much. And again, we will see you all. I plan to see you next week, Tuesday.